You've been appointed a trustee, and what everyone tells you, you'll do great. The trust is straightforward. And then you become a trustee, and suddenly you're responsible for someone's life savings, family relationships, legal deadlines, and decisions that could affect people for years. That's a lot of pressure. Welcome to Trustee Guidance, where we help first time trustees navigate the first 30 days with confidence. Subscribe if you find value here. In this video, I'm going to share the 5 mistakes I see new trustees make over and over again, and I've dodged a few myself. The good news, every one of them is avoidable. You just need to know what to watch for. Hi, I'm Laura, and the first time I became a trustee, I thought my biggest challenge would be understanding the legal documents. I was wrong. The hardest part wasn't the paperwork. It was trying to make good decisions while grieving. One minute you're planning a funeral, the next you're expected to coordinate attorneys and bankers, financial advisors, beneficiaries, talk to government agencies, and no one hands you a manual. If you're grieving, you're just naturally distracted, not at peak performance, and that's normal. That's why I created this playlist about the first 30 days as a trustee and the Trustee Guidance channel. I wanted to become the guide I wish I had during my own first 30 days. Let's start with the first mistake. Mistake number 1. One of the biggest mistakes I see new trustees make is rushing. And people will pressure you. Sometimes beneficiaries are asking, when do I get my inheritance? Sometimes family members are asking, can't we just sell the house? Sometimes it's your own inner voice saying, let's just get this over with. I completely understand those feelings, but moving too quickly can create problems that are difficult or even impossible to fix. Before any distributions are made, you need to understand what assets exist, whether there are any debts, whether taxes need to be paid and how much, and what the trust truly requires of you. One lesson I've learned is this: being a good trustee isn't about moving fast. It's about making thoughtful decisions. So slow down, ask questions, and follow the process. Mistake number 2, assuming the professionals will handle everything. Now, this one surprised me. I honestly thought the estate attorney and the tax accountant was going to tell me every single thing that needed to happen. And instead, I discovered something very important. The attorney gives legal advice, the CPA handles taxes, and the financial advisor manages investments. But you, as the trustee, coordinate the entire process. You're the one making sure everything keeps moving. Think of yourself as a project manager. The professionals are members of your team, and they each have a very important and professional legal advice role, but you're the one responsible for keeping everyone moving toward the same goal. And that mindset shifted everything for me. Mistake number 3, mixing trust money with personal money. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but it happens more often than people realize. Imagine a utility bill arrives for the trust property and you think, I'll just pay it with my credit card and reimburse myself later. Seems harmless. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to keep personal finances completely separate from trust finances because that protects everyone, including you. Separate accounts, separate records, separate receipts. Now, if you need to reimburse yourself, that's fine. Just make sure you have a paper trail. Good documentation creates confidence with beneficiaries and makes your job much easier if questions come up later. If beneficiaries ever question your decisions, separate accounts protect you as much as they protect the trust. Let's talk about mistake number 4, going silent with beneficiaries. This one creates more family conflict than almost anything else. When you're overwhelmed, it's tempting to avoid difficult conversations. You think, I'll wait until I have more information. I don't want to deal with that now. I'm stressed. But beneficiaries often interpret silence as secrecy. So even if you're working very hard every day, a short update can make a huge difference. Something as simple as, I'm still gathering information. I don't have any major updates today, but I'll let you know what I learned next week. And that takes less than a minute to send. It can prevent months of misunderstandings. Communication builds trust, and silence creates suspicion. So, mistake number 5, trusting your memory. One thing no one told me is how much grief affects concentration. Now, I'm an organized person, I'm able to tackle new projects, but throw some grief and stress in there, and I'm not at my best. And if a death is unexpected, you will be distracted. So that's perfectly normal. So write everything down, which is why I encourage every trustee to keep what I call a trustee notebook, whether that's a paper version or a digital version. So you write down phone calls, meetings, questions, the answers to those questions, tasks you need to do, advice from professionals, important dates and deadlines. Think of it as your second brain. 6 months from now, you'll be amazed how often you go back and say, I'm so glad I wrote that down. Your notebook becomes one of your most valuable tools. So, to wrap up, if you remember only one thing from today's video, remember this: you don't have to know everything. You just need to avoid the biggest mistakes. And every experienced trustee was once a first time trustee. So take your time, stay organized, ask good questions, and don't be afraid to lean on qualified professionals when you need them. If you are in your first few weeks as a trustee, or you know someone who is, I created something just for you. It's called the First 30 Days as a Trustee Starter Kit. It's completely free. It walks you through what to focus on day by day so you don't have to wonder if you're forgetting something important. You'll find the link below. And if you found this helpful, like and subscribe. For the next several weeks, we're walking through the first 30 days as a trustee, one practical step at a time. So remember, learn more, be better, be prepared, and I'll see you next week.